Imagine running away from a horrible altered fate and being forced to leave your home. You can lose all your memories and be safe, or stay at home and be in danger. What would you choose? Well, that's the dilemma the characters in this book face. Hey everyone, welcome back to Books with Frank. In this video, we're gonna be exploring the amazing book from the best-selling author of Cogheart Adventures, Magicborn. It's an amazing book about two twins trying to escape their fairy family from the perilous curse. But before we go on any further, can you guys help me? The process used to create a video is quite long. I have to write a script, I have to edit it, so it would be really appreciated if you guys can just simply scroll down and press the big red subscribe button. Thanks! Now, let's continue. Now, this book really shines in other people's eyes as well, because according to Amazon, the average rating is 4.6 out of 5 stars. That's crazy. Okay, now let's actually talk about the book. Let's talk author. It begins with Peter Bunzl. He's a British author, animator, and filmmaker who grew up in South London and had a creative family. He studied animation at the National Film and Television School, and now he lives in North London. His major works include The Cogheart Adventures, a steampunk series, with the books Cogheart, written in 2016, Moonlocket, 1 year later, Sky Circus, another year later, and Shadowsea, 2 years later. Other novels include Magicborn, obviously, in 2022, and Glassborn, the second book in the series in 2023. Which reminds me, if it was possible, can you guys please comment below if you want me to review the book Glassborn? Thanks. Now back to it. He does have other works such as The Clockwork Queen, Featherlight, and Dragon Races. His achievements? He's nearly sold 500,000 books and translated into 16 languages. That's quite a lot. Additionally, Cogheart was shortlisted for Waterstones, Carnegie, and Bradford Boas. His awards include Awesome Book Award, Dudley Teen Book Award, and Saffron Super Reads. His styles he's quite a big range. He's mainly based in England, Victoria, England, and it has sometimes has steampunk adventures in it. But not really in this book. It does have strong young heroes and focus on family, identity, resilience, grief, and hope, with a semantic and imaginative storytelling style. But the thing I love the most is animal sidekicks. There's a lot of animal sidekicks in his work, and they're sometimes really cute. A fun fact, Peter Bunzl once rode on a mechanical elephant in France while researching for Cogheart. I want to ride on one of those. Okay, so now let's talk storyline. And it begins with a curse, rather sadly. This curse is meaning that someone will have to be sacrificed by the queen so the queen can rule fairyland for 133 more years. Here it is. At the chiming of the 13th hour, at the plucking of the 13th flower, on the 133rd naming day, in the Greenwood Forest, by the Tangling River, on the stepping stones, the queen will sacrifice a life of a single sister born in strife, and given to her as kith and kin to save her royal soul and skin. She'll cry cold and hard bitter tears, but will rule fairyland for 133 more years. Now, obviously, being the one who's about to be sacrificed, Lady Hawthorne wants to alter the curse thanks to her pet bird, Oberon, a raven. It's kind of like a crow in this, considering how it's so evil, but they have the same purpose. She changes the word sister to the word twin when the two new babies, Tempest and Thomas, are born. This means that the queen will have to sacrifice one of them. It will mostly be a battle for the winner. Luckily, Tempest and Thomas managed to escape Fairyland through an opening spell into England. But the catch, they will have to lose all their memories. They still take the restore and run away. Which brings us to the present. Tempest is living peacefully with the fairy keepers Prosper and Marino, her adopted fathers who saved her from drowning when she jumped through the opening spell and landed in the river. She has lost her memory though and has no idea who her parents are. Luckily, she does have a mother-like figure called Coriel, a red robin who she can speak with in fairy tongue, a language spoken in Fairyland. She does have a bone cloud necklace around her neck, a magical talisman, which is something that can help people focus magic. Oh wait, I forgot about this. Fairyland is a place where magic is possible, and some people in England can too. They are called Magicborns, hence the title. Anyway, a man called Lord Hawthorne comes, the royal sorcerer, and he's searching for Magicborn. And while Prosper and Marino are not here, he arrives at the Greenwood Forest where Tempest is living. Here, Tempest discovers her magical talisman and its powers and is captured by Lord Hawthorne as well as another boy, Thomas, the wild boy, her unknown twin who has also lost his memory. In the middle part of the story, building to the climax, Lord Hawthorne's apprentice, Coessi, is mentioned and introduced. He is a person who has a different colored skin, and because of that, he's treated very badly. Lord Hawthorne calls him Noah to try to maintain an English type, but Coessi secretly hates it. He was stolen from his tribe by evil people, and just because of his skin tone, and his mother and father unfortunately passed away. So the three decide to work together to escape this horrible place. An apprenticeship is not very good when you're working for Lord Hawthorne. The problem, there's a containment spell around the castle, making sure that they cannot escape. Luckily, Coessi does get help from the three princesses who can distract Lord Hawthorne. But Lord Hawthorne's wife, Lady Hawthorne, secretly the fairy queen's sister, is the twins' aunt and very evil. She sends Oberon to spy on them the whole entire time, which makes planning difficult. But soon enough, they discover that they have new talismans, and they can use those to escape. But there is another step. They need to get their birth talismans, or else Lord Hawthorne can track them. However, luckily, there is a thing called the Royal Masked Ball, and Lord Hawthorne, not knowing about these three new talismans, in Tempest's case, a boat containing her, Prosper and Marino on a little ferry boat, crafted by Marino and painted by Prosper. Thomas has a wolf tooth given to him by Tempest while they were still in Fairyland, and Coessi a painting of his mother and his father. Now, with the combined power of two talismans, they cause absolute chaos, and they try to escape. They almost succeed, but then the fairies come. You see, Lady Hawthorne has shown the queen where Thomas and Tempest are, and with their birth talismans, she has proof. Now the fairies need to fulfill this curse, and therefore they capture Thomas and Tempest. Luckily, Kwesi heals the tree, so the original curse is shown, but the word twin still remains underneath. So then there's a battle between Tempest and Lady Hawthorn. I won't go into much of the detail, but basically in the end, Lady Hawthorn tries to become a big, powerful beast, but gets her tail stuck in a rock. Tempest then startles her to make the tail go further into the rock, and she casts a weather spell to push Lady Hawthorn into the deep water. And if you sink in the water, you go to the Deadlands, where there's no escape. Lord Hawthorn tries to save Lady Hawthorn, but then they sweep into the rising rivers together. Tempest then brings Thomas Kwesi to Prosper and Marino's cottage, her actual home. So this story has many good parts. So what are they? First, it definitely has a clear hate to racism. The character of Kwesi really shows how bad people were treated back then just because of public opinion. I mean, all these essays are powerful, but just adding a character to a story, even if it's not a big main character, that's still important. Also, it does have a lot of great twists. I mean, it seems like they're about to escape, but then Lady Hawthorn comes and takes the talismans they were about to get. Also, it has a clear finding a new self message. I mean, Tempest, although has been tempted by the thought of being with her mother for so long, still decides to live with people who she thinks actually loves her, Prosper and Marino in this case. Also, the perspective switching from now and the past in Fairyland, it's really smooth. But there are some drawbacks. They suddenly find the talismans in the story, and that kind of feels rushed. I mean, if you say sometimes if you say that Tempest is mad about something, and then she accidentally sparks magic with her talisman, that would actually work. But what happens is Tempest feels a buzz, and then she says, "Oh, that boat is my talisman." It's a little bit rushed, but it might not be a quite bad thing. Additionally, why did the Queen let the twins go? I mean, what happens after 133 more years, right? Who's going to be the Queen's successor? But I guess this is a small thing, considering that the Queen was a little bit selfish and just wanted to be a ruler of Fairyland. So my final rating is 4.8 out of 5 stars. It's absolutely an amazing book, and you guys should definitely read it. Thanks for watching Books with Frank. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Also, please comment below if you want me to review Glassborn, since it's another amazing book. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Frank is out.